Check it, check it, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, friends, gonna get started soon. Hello. Hi, friends. I'm Jenn Vega. This stream is called Zine Dreams, and it's exploration of independent magazines and commercial magazines, how they're structured, how they're made, tips for curation, and other ways to express yourself with printed matter. Last time, we looked at Put a Egg on It, issue 15, a print graphic zine called Homeworlds, and a really cute commercial Japanese zine called How to Use Okazu. You can watch all the clips here on the channel if you click on videos, and I also keep the archive on youtube.com/JENNDLV. I also do a Wednesday stream about ingredients, so if you have cooking questions, we can address them then, but today is all about printed stuff. I'm a Twitch affiliate. Your subscriptions help me put on the stream every week. If you have Amazon Prime, you can attach your Amazon Prime account to Twitch and gift a subscription to your favorite creators. It can be me, it can be someone else, but it changes every month, so you can spread the love around. Sounds good, right? Lots of great links below the video here to support and share the show. But, if any of that is not possible, to donate or tip or whatever, just follow me on social. My username is Randwiches. It's here on the screen. Tell a friend to join the stream today so that we can have lots of things to talk about. It'd be great. What's new? So, a couple months ago actually, before, in the middle of quarantine and before all the protests started, I announced that I am now the editor-in-chief of a new publication called Happy Family. It comes from a festival called Happy Family Night Market that's based in New York City. But because of everything. We can't really do live events. We were going to do food pop-ups and screenings and panels and ramp up to another festival, but we decided to postpone it for a year and pivot to a publication. So that's really, really exciting. We're going to be working on ways that we can tell stories of the Asian diaspora. So if you are of Asian descent or want to learn more about it and our world, I'm currently researching recipe websites. So if you have a favorite recipe website from Asian creators, please share it with me or tag me when you see one online. Love to check it out. But you can follow us at instagram.com/happyfamilymkt. So happyfamilymkt is our username online. Yeah, so that's something I'm working on. It's really exciting. Just like my other stream. Good morning, guys. Hi, Lucius. Hi, Martin. Just like the other stream, I like to show what people are eating, but for this stream, I want to show what people are reading. So next week, if you want to send me pictures of what you've been reading or links to like articles that you thought were really good, I'll happily share them with everyone else. Yeah, I think it's a cool way to see what everyone else is reading. And plus, I'm in a bubble, you know, so I'm in a food world bubble, and so I read mostly about food, but I'd like to read what everybody else is reading, and so I can stay current and understand what's going on in the world. Yeah, so next time, please share what you're reading with me. So today, we are going to go over the latest issue of Put Egg on It. Like, this whole... I can't believe that we've done this for 16 Sundays. Like, that's kind of insane, right? But this is the latest issue of Put Egg on It, number 16. We were in the middle of doing a quarantine, but we got stopped, I guess, you know, by life and having to move out of our studio. But we do have another half issue on the way, but this is the latest one that came out. When was it? This was fall 2019, so this was recent. We're also going to look at something I found from the San Francisco Food Zine, or San Francisco Zine Fest by Mad Macaques. So this is Food Fan Zine. I know, eggs everywhere. Wait, is there egg on this one? No, not an egg on that one. And then we're going to shift gears to not necessarily a journalistic publication, but more of a comic book or graphic novel. This one's by Lily Carr. It's called 9 Ways to Disappear. And we're going to look at the first chapter of How to Disappear, which is really wonderful. I'm just curious about, like, all printed media and, like, what different formats we can take. So this is a cute little, like, coffee table or office book that you can get. But we'll check that out last. How is everybody doing? How was your Sunday? I hope that you slept well. I had really crazy dreams last night. I had a dream that so I'm on a Shadowrun podcast, and last night I dreamed that we were doing a live action Shadowrun, like the cast. We were in Las Vegas driving a Bentley, because there's a Bentley on our show. And we were talking about, like, oh, I wonder what Mike and Taylor are going to make for our, like, live-action mission or whatever. And Mike was going to turn all of us against each other, but we heard about it. So we're like, okay, well, how are we going to, you know, help each other and fake our deaths and whatever? And then Taylor shows up in a parking lot and tells us that they invited or, like, kidnapped people that we care about, and he showed me a video feed of my parents having brunch at Mandalay Bay. Like, this is very detailed. And I was like, oh my god. And then, like, the first thing I did was kidnap a dog. I don't know. I have weird dreams. I had a lot of allergies yesterday, so I took a lot of Benadryl. But yeah, I hope that you all had dreams this weekend. They're fun, aren't they? Ah, you're eating lunch. Wonderful. Tripping on the bennies. Yep, true. True. Let's get into Put Egg on It 16. This is another hefty boy, so this is, like, real thick. You see the binding here? It's beautiful. Tasty Zine number 16. We've got a caprese sandwich with roasted peppers instead of tomatoes from Russo's on 11th Street, and a glass of icy Coca-Cola on the table in Vince Aletti's front room. Look at this room. It's like full of magazines. Crazy. We got a food tip that I wrote here, the blended and the dipped. For each cup of cooked beans, add 1 garlic clove, juice of 1 lemon, and enough olive oil to create your desired dip consistency. So you can make a bean dip out of any legume, really. Edamame, kidney beans, black beans. Just, easy. Here is our letter from the editor, Simon. Small plates, big mouths. During our conversation with Vince Aletti, he lamented how difficult it is to decide what to do about lunch every day. Common problem. And we can relate. In fact, this very conundrum was one of our early inspirations for starting Put an Egg on It. Ralph and I were always asking each other what we should eat for lunch and listing off our pantry items in search of inspiration. When I was a kid, my mom would get me to try her less kid-friendly recipes by giving me some in a little bowl. Together, we'd lean against the cabinets, eat a bit, and talk about our day. I still prefer to eat my food out of tiny bowls instead of the full-sized option. For a delightful array of small plate recipes, go to page 112. And so our recipe theme for this issue is small plates. Wonderful. Cool. So, yes, let's get into this issue. We have so many contributors. Recommended here. You know your turmeric is fresh when it smells so incredible it's almost floral. Sana Javeri Kadri started Diaspora Co., looking to have the same transparency around spices origins as we do for organic produce. Her company partners with a family-owned farm in India to harvest this potent organic turmeric. And that she's based in Oakland. We got an excerpt from Oscar Wilde Reviews Dinners and Dishes from Pall Mall Gazette, March 7th, 1885. A man can live for 3 days without bread, but no man can live for 1 day without poetry, was an aphorism of Baudelaire. You can live without pictures and music, but you cannot live without eating, says the author of Dinners and Dishes, and this latter view is, no doubt, the more popular. Who, indeed, in these degenerate days, would hesitate between an ode and an omelette, a sonnet and a psalmis? Yet the position is not entirely Philistine. Cookery is an art. Are not its principles the subject of South Kensington lectures, and does not the Royal Academy give a banquet once a year? Besides, as the coming democracy will, no doubt, insist on feeding us all on penny dinners, it is well that the law of cookery should be explained. For were the national meal burned or badly seasoned or served up with the wrong sauce, a dreadful revolution might follow. Wow, Oscar Wilde. We've got a poem here called Bon Rien by Jennifer Robichaux. Fresh picked peas are heaped in my grandmother's lap, and I sit at her feet on the porch, noticing the broken thermometer above, illustrated with a robin's head at the 90-degree mark. I'm sure it's hotter than the bird's head. As her hands move with her breath, snapping the pod's end, splitting open the seam and pulling her finger through the skin, to let the black-eyed peas catch in a bowl on the ground. When she is hungry, she grabs for a pear and offers me a slice dripping from a small, dull blade. She says, "Men are bon rien, good for nothing." I lean harder against her leg and watch the bowl fill, the ground now littered with pinched green hulls. Wow. I have a try this tip. You can make croquettes out of any leftover rice dish. Did you know? Including plain rice, fried rice, paella, or risotto. For every cup of rice, you'll need 2 eggs, half a cup panko breadcrumbs, half a cup of oil, cornstarch, and chunky salt. Then I have the step-by-step here. You mix in an egg. You form 1-inch cakes. You dip the cakes in cornstarch, and then egg, and then the panko. Then you fry them on both sides on medium heat, and then you drain on a paper towel. Yay! Risotto balls. We got a comic, I don't know, by Nate Doyle. See that? Whew, I need a drink of water, my friends. It's hot. How are you all staying cool? I actually cracked and bought a pint of Ben & Jerry's pistachio ice cream the other day. Okay, moving on. Let's see. We have Munch About with Vince Aletti. I'll read the first paragraph here. Leftovers slushy keeps you cool. Oh yeah, cold leftover roast tomato. Oh, that sounds nice. I don't really snack. I have regular meals, but at irregular times. I don't have breakfast until close to 11, even though I wake up early. Typically, I'll go out and get a bagel at 10:30 or 11, a bagel with butter, and that's it. My favorite bagel place, Tompkins Square Bagels, is right across the street now. It opened a little more than a year ago. It's excellent and they're really nice. Before there, I would go to a bagel place on 1st Avenue near 16th Street all the time. It's either a bagel or a muffin in the morning. I don't drink coffee, so it's usually Snapple peach tea. Okay, let's see. We got Oak's Chocolate Melty Bar. Has everyone ever heard of Oak's Chocolate Melty Bar? As a kid, the Southside Library was closest to my house, but still blocks and blocks away. My mom would give me bus money, and I would go alone. Nowadays, a 10-year-old wouldn't be allowed to make that ride there and back totally alone. What makes this worse is I didn't want to spend that money on bus fare, so I walked from our house near Witzel Avenue to the library on 9th Street. I would get 2 books and then walk from the library to Oak's Candy. I had enough money to buy myself 2 melt-away bars, my all-time favorite. So what is it? Melt-aways are still my favorite, and every Christmas, blah, 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 blah. What is it, though? What's a melt-away? Chocolate melt-away bar. From Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Looks cool. It's from Danny Wyatt. Okay, we got a food art collection. In 2014, Jeremy Boobin developed a strange tic. He had been working as an arts journalist when a visit to Art and Appetite exhibit at the Amon Carter Museum inspired a habit for niche collecting. Jeremy's Seattle apartment started filling with any portrayal of food he could find. In 2017, the collection was outgrowing his space when the curator of Cafe Gallery Joe Bar lent his walls. Jeremy displayed his growing archive beside art he'd coveted, and food art collection was born. Dope. Oh yeah, I recommended this because I know the artist Genevieve St. Charles. Since the launch, Food Art has showcased tin-type photos of agricultural workers in New York, letterpress pieces from Seattle typographists, 90 hand-cut, resin-coated LaCroix paintings from artist Genevieve St. Charles in flavors like Cheese Whiz, Incognito Mode, and You Can Get It. Pieces have rendered sandwiches, Jesus nudes with breakfast pastries, and so many oysters in paint, etching, and video, and the collection is still growing. Look at this burger on a candelabra. Aw, melty bar perfect for finding under your car seat. I hope not. Hope it makes it to your mouth. Maria Manhattan's The Box Lunch. Let's see what this is. Detail from Lucille Ball box. This spread Betty Crocker's box. The Box Lunch. Laundry made of paper hanging in the street. Laundry and other items of women's work. Huh. Interesting. So this is, let me see. Like Lucille Ball. The Box Lunch. A woman's work is never done. I don't actually know what this is, but it looks cool. Is there more context about it somewhere? La 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 la. This a box lunch tribute to the first Avon lady. Okay, so this is Maria Manhattan curating boxes about famous ladies in history. Here we go. The box lunch. In 1979, feminist artist Judy Chicago created The Dinner Party, an iconic installation in which she celebrated 39 women who had made significant contributions in history. Set around a triangular table, each place setting had a ceramic plate that reimagined the woman's vulva in full splendor. Wow, fancy glassware and flatware, and a cloth depicting her accomplishments. The floor under the table included another 998 women whose lives and work made the world a better place. It was epic, it was serious, it was, at least to another artist named Maria Manhattan, sanctimonious and over the top. In other words, perfect fodder for parody. Ah, I see. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh, okay, so this is the box lunch parody installation. That's the context. We have a essay from my friend Kimberly Suan. When I'm performing as one of the better versions of myself, I swim laps every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, always in the evening. Summer of 2016, it was an Olympic-length outdoor pool on campus at National Taiwan University. After Chinese classes during the day, I'd eat 2 tea-steeped eggs from the closest 7-Eleven, then walk to the pool. The water was so warm, even with a sun cover shielding it most of the day, allowed me to be lazy enough to swim only breaststroke with the breaks after every 50 meters. Last year, I swam at different YMCAs all over New York City. My Y practice involves variations on an ideal theme, a long shower, a time in the steam room, then dry sauna, followed by a set number of laps, then a repeat sauna and steam again if there's time. Wow, that sounds fun. I got a food tip here called Atlas Shrubbed. Make your own shrub. Mix equal cups of sugar, water, and bruised fruit like berries, ginger, or stone fruit. Bring it to a boil. Add a cup of vinegar, let cool, strain, and store in a bottle. To enjoy, add enough water to dilute the sting. So a shrub is a vinegar drink that you can make with fruit. We have an essay from Elazar Sontag, who is a great food writer, by the way, if you're not following him. I met the boy on Tinder. He was lanky, tall, bright-eyed, and swishy-haired, my type. He was a writer, too, and a singer with a smooth, deep voice. I read it in his 150-character bio, swiped through his photos, one beautiful picture after another. But New York is full of beautiful young gay men, the young gay men that make me anxious, self-conscious, uneasy. I was ready to swipe left, put my phone aside, start another day content with a single life, when I read the last line of his Tinder bio. Lover of sweet potatoes. So I swiped right. I love sweet potatoes, too. Was the stupid one-liner I sent him. Too dumb to respond to, but he did, and that night we planned a date. Wow! Sweet potato date! That's great. Love it. We have an essay from Puerto Rico-based writer Alicia Kennedy. Long Island iced tea. Read the first paragraph here. What's your karaoke song? A bartender asks me. Oh, I don't really do karaoke, I tell him, looking away, hoping to show I'm a boring person who doesn't deserve any attention. What's your karaoke song? He repeats, in the same tone, proving he knows my play here. I guess the last time I did karaoke was Savage Garden, I say. I'm lying. The fast one? A friend asks. Yes, I Want You. The truth is, I know exactly which song I sang during my last karaoke stage appearance, and it wasn't a 1996 hit otherwise known as the Cherry Cola song. I sang Doll Parts by Hole after 2 Long Island iced teas, and announcing to my friends, saying the words aloud for the first time, that my parents were getting divorced. Wow. What a story. We got another food tip. The pan fire of the granaries. Toast whole seed spices to release their essential oils before you grind them. This dinner conversation feature was very, very exciting because I feel like, this is a very big celebrity to me. With Billy Sullivan, John Cameron Mitchell, and Ava Berlin. Y'all know who John Cameron Mitchell is? You ever seen that movie, Hedwig and the Angry Inch? That's John Cameron Mitchell. I'll read the introduction here. I left work early and skateboarded across town to Billy Sullivan's Bowery Street loft. During one of my first visits with him years ago, he told me he'd lived there for 15 years, and before that, had been in a loft across the street for 15 more. After walking up the 5 exhausting flights and through the giant metal door, I limp into Billy's living room. Stephanie Jaramillo, our chef for the evening, is in the kitchen prepping. I bring her some additional groceries and put together a cheese plate for us to nibble. Billy is a painter and a photographer who's been making these gorgeous pictures of his friends and family and other characters since the 1970s. Our next guest, John Cameron Mitchell, arrives wearing a fantastically punk vest with studs and patches all over it. John is a performer, playwright, and director who has been instrumental in making New York City nightlife weird and vital for years. He wrote, directed, and starred in Hedwig and the Angry Inch in various forms. Stephanie's friend sent us some mezcal to try. Her company is called Oaxaca with a W. And we get started on it with the cheese and crackers and oranges, chatting while Stephanie cooks. Ava Berlin cruises in and last and joins us at the kitchen counter. She's a curator, photographer, and writer of the hoster of the sexy and glamorous events. We begin by discussing where we've all been most recently. I did not say, hey Siri. Why did you think I said Siri? Creepy. Technology, right? Okay. Look, it's John Cameron Mitchell eating my friend Stephanie's food. So cool. And so it's a recorded conversation and we publish it. Okay, we have an essay here called Service. I'll read the first paragraph. This afternoon I woke from a dream, heart pounding, hand on chest, hand closer to the heart than it's ever been, hand holding the beating. In the dream, someone was trying to change my name. No, that's not exactly it. 2 people were arguing over my name while I stood there wondering where the nachos they were eating just went. I like the beginning of that. Oh, they were good nachos, piled high, topped with bright pink and purple pickles. In dream logic, I had been tasked with ordering the nachos for people busy working the hot flat top in a galley kitchen, sweat pouring through their whites and into the pots below. The nachos were reward, and now they were gone. Ah! Nacho dreams. This is really exciting. So we recruited my friend Ramsey, who is a comedy writer, and we had him write little vignettes for fictional 80s movies. We called this feature VHS Cuisine, and it was around the theme of Nouvelle Cuisine, which is this French style of plating things, and you'll see it in the background of every 80s movie. When rich people are at the country club eating whatever food it is, like that food style is Nouvelle Cuisine. And so we had a Ramsey makeup movies, and we had Ricardo Roa shoot the dishes. So here's one of the paragraphs here. Director and star Albert Brooks brings us to a small town Willoughby, Nevada in Go Willoughby or Go Home 1986. Hal, played by Albert Brooks, is judging a talent show to celebrate their town's centennial, and the competition is fierce. Hal is wooed, bribed, and seduced by the talented and talentless of Willoughby. The ensemble cast includes Catherine O'Hara, Dylan Baker, Raymond Burr, Mark Lynn Baker, and Karen Allen. Mallory, Catherine O'Hara, is certain that winning the talent show is a stepping stone to her lifelong dream, competing on Star Search. She asks Hal on a date, and he agrees. When the waiter arrives, she's overwhelmed and orders the first thing that she sees, pronouncing every silent L and S in Cuisse de Grenois. Hal asks her if she had frog legs before. Mallory swallows hard and after a beat asks, "Are you talking about a food or a sexual position?" And here's I can imagine Catherine O'Hara saying that. Is that a food? But this is a great feature. I know, I remember the 80s as well. But this is such a fun idea. Fictional 80s movies and the food in them. We have a book review here, not a book review, excerpt from China Dream by Ma Jian. China Dream is a surreal, raging satire of modern-day China by Ma Jian. The narrator, Ma Daoud, is a corrupt local official and director of the China Dream Bureau, which was created to replace people's own dreams with a collective dream of Chinese greatness. Daoud is haunted by his own dreams of violence and destruction from his youth and the Cultural Revolution. Here, Daoud is dining with his wife and receiving texts from his mistresses. Wow. Gaze at clouds drifting in the breeze. Inhale the scent of wildflowers and let your mind grow calm. Before he enters his apartment, Director Ma deletes this text he had just received and instantly forgets who sent it to him. Wow. Yeah, Chinese Dream Bureau. Interesting. Sounds like a great book. We have a photo spread by Adrian Chesser. It's called Vanitas. And I think it's all airline dinners. Wow. Gosh, don't you miss good international airline dinners? Have you ever had a good airline dinner? My favorite, absolute favorite, was on Korean Air. I got bibimbap. And it was like legit bibimbap. What's ANA? Which one is that? Singapore Air was really good. What'd you have on Singapore Air? I would also say that Air France also has a good dinner, and they give you half a bottle of wine. Oh, All Nippon Airway. Oh, of course, the Japanese airline will be really, really good. I also like Korean Air. Yeah, Korean Air is really, really delicious. And they give you little slippies. But yes, international airline food is so much better. What's this? Adrian Chesser and his friend Jane Thompson made photos together to pass the time during her many hospital stays in the last year of her life. Jane had a great passion for life and food and thought the hospital food was a cruel joke. Oh, I was so wrong. It's not airline, it's hospital. She would say, how is someone supposed to get better when you're feeding them this? Oh, I see. So this is hospital, not airline. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. But these are all from different hospitals. Interesting. Have you ever had good hospital food? I think when my grandpa was in the hospital, I would eat his cream of chicken soup. Not because it was good, but because it was comforting. I ate a lot of hospital food because my mom worked at one. Never had to go to the cafeteria at a hospital or a vending machine? Wow. Wow. Let's see. We got an essay here from Gretchen Mankopf called The Abbey. I'll read the first paragraph. I was fired from Big Daddy's for being too dirty, squealed little goth Angela, and as if to demonstrate, she tore off her tight mini dress, jumped on a table, and writhed through her curvaceous body with great enthusiasm. Angela looked exactly like a Femlin, that little Playboy character from the jokes page with the black hair who wore nothing but black stockings and opera gloves. She actually had the gloves, too. She stole them from me, but she left me a nice skirt and note explaining that she really needed them. And now here she was panting on her back, her boobs heaving, showing both efficiency and flexibility by simultaneously pulling one long black glove off with her teeth and the other with her toes. Too dirty, she moaned. Greatly entertaining the few regulars left over from happy hour, drinking beer in the perpetually dark and smoke-filled Abbey. In the early 90s, Big Daddy's was the most iconic strip bar on Bourbon Street, with neon signs promising topless and bottomless dancers. Oh my gosh. The Abbey. We got a food tip here. A portrait of a chicken leg as fried. Use up broken pieces of potato chips, pretzels, or cracker for breading fried chicken. And it's got a drumstick given a peace sign. Carter Wilson, an essay called Fruitcake. I loved Mark Barrett. He came into our life, mine and my partner Ray's, 30 years ago, originally as a friend of friends. He was a Southern California fellow with a kind of chunky, squared-off body and wide face, hair carefully combed in a big 50s-style wave, a penchant for laughter and talent for conviviality. In the beginning, we had some bedtime with Mark, but it was never especially hot, so the sex tapered off, leaving us with a kind of easy intimacy you can have with someone who, by mutual agreement, you're no longer sleeping with. Oh, that's funny. Oh, we got a photo spread, Chicken with Beans and Rice, Staten Island by Beck Anderson. Oh, love these cookout photos. Don't you love cookout photos? I want to go to a cookout. Dinner at Staten Island at Portia Velez and Nicole Spano's house with their kids, Analea, Jasleen, and Anthony Michael. They brought bacalao and rice and beans and grilled chicken. Wow. And then birthday cupcakes. This looks fun. Look at this family. Oh, they're so colorful. Gosh, I love cookouts. I want to cook at I want to have a picnic so bad. Ooh, you'd like to go to a North Carolina cookout, fried catfish barbecue? Yes, me too. I would love that. Okay, we have a recipe section called Small Plates. We've got tuna cutlets from Divya Gadangi, who is a contributor to Happy Family. We have wild Alaskan halibut ceviche from S. Jenkins Burrito. Oh, hi, Matt. Good morning. You haven't been to a cookout in ages, even before COVID? Yeah, I know. Makes me miss them even more. We have baked soft cheese and garlic confit from Caroline Cho. I have a recipe in here for pinak bet pie, which is vegetables that are stewed in shrimp paste and then put in a phyllo crust. We have pajeon from Caroline also. Clam larb from Joanna Hellrigel. Loaded short rib nachos from Lazarus Lynch. Wow, loaded short rib nachos. That sounds so good. Sri Lankan fish cutlets from Isha Aran, who's one of my friends. We have a recipe for potato parsnip latkes with horseradish and dill from Deb Perelman. Tom Hua Tien, or rocket shrimp, from my friend Phoebe Tran. Cured mackerel with tomatoes and fennel from Nuno Mendez. Suya spiced beef curry from Mariam Bello, who is one of our interns from Nigeria. Pickled wood ear salad from Shinyi Lim, who is based in Australia. Spirulina deviled egg from our friend Maria Mercedes Grob in Puerto Rico. My old roommate Dylan contributed a cocktail called the Addams Family Values Cocktail. And then Lauren Chandler shared Egg Emergency, which is how to prepare 12 deviled eggs very quickly. And then we have a parody recipe called, oh no, not a parody, but a flashback. Chicken sandwiches is so mundane. Instead, try this stunning recipe that appeared on our fridge way back in Put an Egg on It #2. Popeye's Casserole. Open one box fried chicken, 1 corn cob, 1 large container, mashed potatoes and gravy, 6 biscuits, and a small French fry order from Popeyes. Use 1 cup or so of the frozen peas. Cut corn off the cob. Layer all your ingredients however you want. Our layers went like this: French fries, mashed potatoes, corn, slices of 3 biscuits to cover, more mashed potatoes, 2 breasts, 1 thigh, chicken pulled from the bone, assorted across the top. Layer of frozen peas, lined with biscuits, drizzle with honey. Wow. Sprinkle on cheddar cheese. Bake at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. Wow. Popeye's Casserole. I kind of want to do that. Sounds good. Then our last page here is a feature on Gabrielle Camara. She's the owner and chef of Contramar in, Contramar, Entremar, and Cala in San Francisco. Oh, I've eaten at Cala. Have you eaten at Cala? And then we have a fridge. I know this fridge. That's my friend Wild. That's Simon's kid. Simon and Jen's kid. Wild. Then we have a back illustration here that's so cute. How's it spelled? C-A-L-A, Cala. It's a Mexican taco place. It's pretty fancy in San Francisco. Okay, so that was Put an Egg on It issue 16. This is on sale in the store. It is so big. It's so worth the time and the money. It's 126 pages. It's a thick boy. So that was fun. Thank you for skimming through it with me. So moving on, we got a short little buddy. Fan Zine by Mad Macaque. Take a drink of water first. I found this at the San Francisco Zine Fair. A lot of my zines come from the zine fairs. Oh, it's hot. I'm going to have some ice cream after this, friends. So, Fan Zine #1. Mad Macaques Press, you can see here. Oh, there you go. I love this one because it has lots of tiny illustrations that I really like. Contributors, Maya Kobabe, Elena Carnes, Donna Almendrala. This was made in 2018. I'll put her website here. madmaca.com. I think that link should work. Yeah? No? Well, we'll check it later. Foodie quiz number 1. Circle the dessert that is ice cream. The answer, it says, sorry, they're both frozen yogurt. We ran out about an hour ago. Good joke. I left home in 2010 and moved to Vermont to attend grad school. I had never lived further than a 30-minute drive from my family. My aunt helped me settle in a new place and taught me how to make some of my favorite meals so I could try to make them on my own. That's so sweet. Pizza spaghetti. Okay, no one else that calls it that besides me. It's chorizo and bacon tomato sauce over spaghetti, but seriously tastes like Meat Lover's Pizza from Pizza Hut. Hell yeah, I will try that. That sounds good. And then I love the ingredients here. Here's what you need. It's all tiny illustrations. And then the instructions. She's a lizard in here. There's a person. Serve. Okay. Complain. The last step is relish the labor of your cooking. Complain to your aunt that it doesn't taste as good as hers. Aww. Okay. What else? Very easy peanut butter cookies for introverts. I'm often very shy and get nervous when invited to a party where I only know the host or one guest. Same. A solution, go to the party prepared to bake cookies. This will give you something to do in the first hour or so, and then you will also have cookies. Bring with you to the event, then ask your host for an egg, 1 cup of sugar, a bowl, and a spoon. Oh yeah, peanut butter cookies are super easy. Ooh, ice cream self-esteem. Desserts that get you through the workday. Brown butter ice cream mixed with chunks of unrelenting ambition and sleep deprivation sprinkles. Coffee ice cream and productivity swirl with unexpected caffeine jitters. Non-dairy sorbet flavored with citrusy focus and topped with an unread inbox berry compote. Vanilla ice cream covered in chocolate confidence crunchies and filled with gooey insecurity. Banana ice cream and deadline nut crunch with a peanut butter ennui core. This is funny. This is a funny feature. Ice cream self-esteem. Movie corner. Oh, I love this. I love this spread. A review of that Fish Lover movie. It's so funny because I remember that scene in what's it called? What is this movie called? What was this movie called? You know what I'm talking about. It won all the awards. What was this movie called? I don't remember. But it was so funny because I remember he accepted The Shape of Water. Thank you. Yes. There was that scene with the egg. Love it. Where is this? The Shape of Egg. I love this illustration. It's so funny. The Shape of Egg. It's in love with the egg and not the woman. How to Romance Me. And it's just like a 4-panel comic of sushi. How to Romance Me. Order a lot of sushi. Same. Oh yeah, and then extended edition, you've got the creature with an egg on its shoulder. See it? This is a cute little zine. Yeah, so that is Food Fan Zine number 1. Mad Macaques. Okay. Moving on to our last one. We're shifting gears to more, like a more substantial printed matter. This is 9 Ways to Disappear by Lily Carr. It's very short, thick graphic novel situation. We're gonna go through chapter 1. I wholeheartedly relate to this person, like, who's sitting in a chair, and then, like, you know, is nervous, and then, like, is suddenly under the chair. That's, like, me. 9 Ways to Disappear. Let's see. Dorado Park. I love this art style. It's really fun. Look at this. My sister and I lived in a house near Dorado Park. We spent nights looking out the window watching the cigar-smoking guys turn their victims loose in the park. They'd spin them around and leave them disoriented in the grass. The park is unusually large and all the trees look alike, so the people who are let loose there end up walking the grassy plains while growing old and looking for a road or a building. Whoa. Sis and I watched these people bumble about while we ran a joke writing business from home. We had a good little system going until Sis lost her sense of humor. It was because the guy she met at the bus stop. She brought him in from the rain, and he took her to her like an overly affectionate cat that wouldn't leave her lap. He was like groping her. They locked themselves in her room, and I could hear the sound of wild animals scratching at her door. The more time they spent in each other's company, the wilder they became. They soon spoke an invented language and lived by a new sort of logic. Wow, that is hilarious. All my jokes turned sour. I eventually stopped writing them, and we all resorted to eating the fruit that grew from my sister's wildness in order to sustain ourselves. What an amazing visual. The house became overgrown, and Sis disappeared into her own thicket along with the guy from the bus stop. Now the house was boring but dangerous. All I really did was watch people get spun around to wander the park forever while fighting off what Sis had left behind. A stray beast bit my leg, and I decided it was useless to stay there, so I slid out the window because I couldn't find the door. I waited for the bus for some time, but a passerby told me it wasn't worth my while and that I may as well walk. And I took a few steps into Dorado Park and noticed that all the trees looked the same. I knew what I was getting myself into. That's the end of the first little story. I love this 9 Ways to Disappear. Like, this little surrealist illustration was about, you know, a different way to deal with... How many of you have siblings, you know, that you're really close to, and then when they start dating, you, like, feel like you lose them? Like, that's kind of, like, what this little story is about. I eventually stopped writing them. We all resorted to eating the fruit that grew from my sister's wildness in order to sustain ourselves. That's an incredible thought. She disappeared into her own thicket, meaning she moved out, you know, with the guy she met on a bus stop. Amazing. The other chapters, like, if I were a fish, I'd have it easy, gliding along, not a thought in my head. This is lovely. Let me see if there's, Lily Carr was born in 1983 and currently lives in Chicago. Her other books include Tales of Woodman Pete and The Lagoon. This is her little self-portrait with a sword through her head. My kind of lady, I think. Right? So this was published by Little Otsu, so littleotsu.com. This came out in 2009. Printed in Oakland using soy-based inks on 100% post-consumer recycled paper. Wow. Can't wait to read the rest of this. This is a nice little book. Anyway, it's always fun to consider, like, different shapes for printed stuff. Like, so, like, Put an Egg on It is the size of a half sheet of paper, and then the Food Fan Zine is a quarter. And then this is not, you know, it's very irregular. Maybe it goes sideways like this. Oh, no, it's actually... the sheet of paper is bigger. Whoa. It's I like books that are unusual and hard to shelve. Kind of think, you know, you kind of... I love that. I love things in this world that are hard to shelve or hard to categorize or hard to swallow. Like that's the kind of stuff I like. Yeah, regular size books. But, you know, you got to figure out how you're going to store them. I'll show you maybe my storage system or give you a tour of my shelves next week, you know, after I clean them. But that was 9 Ways to Disappear by Lily Carr, which I thought was really cute. I'm going to read the rest this weekend. We looked at Fan Zine by Mad Macaques, and then Put an Egg on It number 16, which is on sale on putaneggonit.com. That would drive you insane. My own books are slightly different sizes on my shelf, and it drives you nuts. Yeah, I know. But I kind of love the chaos. You know, makes sense, right? Yeah, so friends, I'll be back talking about zines next Sunday, but meanwhile, if you'd like to share, you know, photos of what you're reading or links to articles that you're reading this week, I'll happily share it on the stream next week so that other people can read what you're reading and we can all talk about them. I'm going to also share some links next week of what I've been reading besides, like, the print stuff. I'll be back on Wednesday to talk about ingredients and answer your cooking questions. I believe we're going to finish our large segment about food preservation and pickling, and then we're going to talk about cookies, and then after that, noodles. So bring your cooking questions, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern here on Twitch. So thanks for hanging out with me this Sunday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It shouldn't be too hot in New York City. I hope you get some outside time. I might go skateboarding. But hopefully see you on Wednesday, friends. Have a good day.